Most people don't realize they need an emergency fund until the moment they desperately wish they had one. It usually doesn't start with a big disaster. It starts with something small and unexpected: a car repair, a medical bill, reduced work hours, a sudden move. Something that isn't dramatic enough to feel like a crisis, but serious enough to cause stress. That moment reveals a simple truth about money that most people are never taught. Financial stress isn't caused by lack of income alone, it's caused by lack of preparation for the unexpected. That's where the emergency fund comes in. An emergency fund is not exciting. It doesn't make headlines. It doesn't make you feel rich, and because of that, many people ignore it. But quietly in the background, it does something incredibly powerful. It protects your peace of mind. Welcome to Money Science AR. An emergency fund is simply money set aside for unexpected events, not planned expenses, not vacations, not shopping. Unexpected things that life throws at you without warning. It exists for moments when timing is bad, options are limited, and stress is high. What makes an emergency fund non-negotiable isn't the amount of money. It's the role it plays in your life. It acts as a buffer between you and panic. It gives you time, and time is one of the most valuable things money can buy. Without an emergency fund, every unexpected expense feels like a threat. Even small problems feel heavy because there's no margin. One issue turns into another. Stress builds quickly, and decisions are made under pressure. With an emergency fund, the same problem feels different. It's still inconvenient, but it's not overwhelming. You can pause, you can think, you can choose instead of react. That psychological difference is everything. Many people believe emergency funds are only for people with extra money. That's not true. Emergency funds are most important for people who don't have margin yet. They are not a luxury, they are a foundation. Another common misunderstanding is thinking an emergency fund needs to be perfect before it's useful. That's also not true. Even a small emergency fund changes how you experience stress. A few $100s can stop a minor issue from becoming a financial spiral. The purpose of an emergency fund is not to make you wealthy. It's to make you stable. Stability comes before growth. Without stability, every financial plan is fragile. Let's talk about psychology for a moment. When people don't have an emergency fund, their brains stay in a constant low-level state of alert. Even when things are fine, there's a quiet fear in the background. What if something happens? That fear affects behavior. It leads to avoidance, emotional spending, reliance on credit, and short-term thinking. People aren't careless, they're stressed. An emergency fund reduces that background anxiety. It gives your brain evidence that you can handle surprises, and when the brain feels safer, decisions improve naturally. This is why emergency funds are non-negotiable, not because of math, because of psychology. Many people rely on credit cards instead of emergency funds. Credit feels like a backup plan, but credit is not protection. It's delayed stress. It turns emergencies into long-term obligations. What starts as a temporary problem becomes a recurring monthly payment. An emergency fund keeps emergencies temporary. Another reason people avoid building an emergency fund is because it feels boring or unproductive. Saving money that just sits there feels like missed opportunity. People want their money to do something. But emergency money is doing something. It's working quietly as insurance for your life. Its job is not to grow fast. Its job is to be there when you need it. Think of it like a seatbelt. You don't wear a seatbelt hoping to crash. You wear it because you know you can't predict everything. The emergency fund works the same way. There's also a lot of pressure online to focus on investing first. Investing is important, but investing without an emergency fund often increases stress. Market ups and downs feel more intense when you don't have a safety buffer. Every fluctuation feels personal. An emergency fund allows you to invest calmly later. Calm money decisions lead to better long-term outcomes. Another important aspect is dignity. Emergencies are stressful enough without needing to borrow from family, ask friends for help, or feel embarrassed. An emergency fund gives you quiet independence. You handle your own problems without explanation. That sense of control builds confidence over time. Many people ask how big an emergency fund should be. The exact number matters less than starting. For beginners, the goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. Starting small is not a failure. It's the correct first step. A small emergency fund turns "I have nothing" into "I have something." That shift alone changes behavior. People become more intentional. They feel more capable. Momentum builds. Emergency funds also protect your future plans. Without one, long-term goals constantly get interrupted. Money meant for progress gets redirected to survival. This creates frustration and the feeling of always starting over. With an emergency fund, long-term plans stay intact even when life gets messy. It's important to say this clearly. Building an emergency fund does not mean depriving yourself or living in fear. It's not about expecting bad things to happen. It's about accepting that life is unpredictable. This acceptance is actually freeing. You stop being shocked by surprises and start handling them calmly. Another psychological benefit is decision quality. When people are under financial pressure, they make short-term decisions. They accept bad work conditions, delay important choices, or stay stuck because they can't afford change. An emergency fund gives you options. Options reduce pressure. Reduced pressure improves decision-making. This is why emergency funds are often the turning point in people's financial lives. Not because the amount is huge, but because the mindset shifts from survival to stability. Some people feel guilty saving money while carrying other financial responsibilities. They think, "I should be using this money elsewhere." But without an emergency fund, every responsibility becomes heavier. You're always one step away from disruption. Emergency funds don't replace other goals, they protect them. It's also important to keep emergency funds simple. No complicated rules, no constant adjustments. Money set aside, easily accessible, used only for true, unexpected needs. The simplicity is intentional. Complex systems break under stress. Simple systems hold up. When people finally experience using their emergency fund for a real situation, something powerful happens. Instead of panic, there's relief. Instead of shame, there's gratitude. Instead of regret, there's confidence. That experience reinforces the habit. People stop seeing the emergency fund as boring money and start seeing it as peace of mind money. Over time, this changes how people approach all financial decisions. Spending becomes more intentional. Saving feels purposeful. Investing feels calmer. This is how long-term wealth thinking begins, not with chasing growth, but with protecting stability. Emergency funds also reduce the emotional cycle of guilt and stress. Without one, people often feel bad about unexpected expenses, even though they couldn't control them. With one, unexpected expenses are handled without self-blame. That emotional relief matters more than people realize. If you're listening to this and thinking you're too far behind, you're not. Emergency funds are one of the few financial tools that help immediately, even when started late. The first dollar saved already improves your situation. You don't need motivation. You don't need perfect timing. You need a small, consistent step. Long-term financial peace is built in layers. Emergency fund first, then growth. Skipping the foundation makes everything else unstable. This is why an emergency fund is non-negotiable. Not because someone said so, but because life demands it. If this video helped you see emergency funds differently, that's the goal. Share it with someone who feels stressed about money but can't explain why, and subscribe to Money Science AR for calm, realistic conversations about money, psychology, and long-term financial stability. In the next video, we'll talk about how to manage money without feeling restricted or overwhelmed. I'll see you in the next video on Money Science AR.